Jay, welcome everybody to another She webinar. We're super excited here with you. I have an amazing speaker. We're gonna get a lot of value. So welcome everybody. I'm gonna share my screen really quick and tell you a little bit about us. She is on a mission to help 1 million women get well while fostering personal, professional, and spiritual growth. We highly believe that in order to achieve higher levels of success, we need to grow on every area. So welcome to She. Stay connected with us. We have webinars the first and the third Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. Central. So for those who are here, welcome. Those who are on Facebook, join us live on Zoom. You can join us here. So yeah, she is me, she's you, she's all of us. She's our mom, our sister, sister-in-law, everybody. I highly believe that when women are at their maximum potential, we impact everybody around us, our business partners, families. So it's so important that we take responsibility of us, of growing on ourselves, and then can impact. We're live on Facebook. For those who are on Facebook, join on Zoom. Have a link on the comment in Zoom. Disclaimer: we are a real estate investment firm. We offer investment opportunities, every investment risk, and every speaker that we bring offers different products or services. We do not endorse any of them, but we invite them because we want to learn from them. We just love a little bit about us. But she was brought to you by Massive Capital. Massive Capital is a real estate investment firm that has close to over $500 million of assets under management. We have two assets. One, multifamily, that is across Texas, Georgia, North Carolina, and Denver. Those investment opportunities in multifamily offer great tax benefits and cash flow. On the other side, we have land development. So we build retail centers. For those who are in Houston, we just had a groundbreaking ceremony. We have one more than one projects for land development. So that are super exciting. It's amazing to see just dirt, and then 1 month later you're going vertical, and 1 year later it's a whole build. So for those who are in Houston, be sure to join us. We have one tomorrow. X-Space, one of the coolest projects that we have in our portfolio. So that's a little bit us about our asset. We're vertically integrated. We of course have retail investments, the A part. We have a triple net brokerage. We have a triple net property management, land development, of course, the construction company. And we have massive masters for those who are interested on doing deals alongside with us. Let me know. We also can help you do that. Join us on that. Okay. Yeah, so if you're looking for an investment opportunity, we have a webinar. Okay, that's an old flyer, but we have a webinar on May 1st where we're going to talk about Horizon Apartment. Great opportunity, multifamily, only 4 years old at this point, and it has a 2.1 equity tax benefits. If you have questions, feel free to book a call with me. I would love to talk about opportunity. And then I said on the right side, we have X Space, is commercial condos that we're building in Houston. So if you're in Houston, join us tomorrow for the grand opening ceremony. This is some events that we go around the country. Love person. Okay, why do we invest in real estate? Why I personally started one, cash flow, right? We're busy building these careers, growing families, whatever, right? But we always need cash. We always need money to come in regardless of where we're, right? So real estate offers cash flow, so that's the benefits. The other one is long-term. On average, women keeps 81% of their wealth cash, and in today's market, that will lose value. So putting your money into real estate asset will increase the long-term value. That was me. I was just saving money. So I wanted to open it, but I didn't know what kind of start. And then I was like, okay, while I figure what kind of business I want to start, I'm gonna put my money in a safe place that at least it will grow. Because the bank where I was making 0.001%. So I put it on the in my first piece of land, and then fast forward, here we are, right? 1,800 units later, multifamily land. So it was a great opportunity. Leverage. 43% of women have career. We either take breaks to raise kids, grow businesses, travel the world, or take care of elderly parents, whatever we want to do. But it's important to have third, second source of income, right? We can work, at least we have the peace of mind that diversification. This is one of my favorites, and this is why I love land development. Each in real estate, sorry, real estate, there's so many ways that we can invest. Diversifying in real estate is a great way to get the best of each world, right? Where we have appreciation, we some others offer tax benefits, cash flow. It will mitigate the risk, and we will take advantage of everything. Tax benefits, it doesn't matter how much you make, but how at the end of the year, right? So with multifamily real estate, at the end of the year, you K1, you give it to your CPA, and they make magic and depreciate all the tax benefits. Well, that's why I believe in real estate. That's why I got in real estate. So I love real estate. If you want to talk more about real estate, feel free to book a call with me. And I'm gonna start with our speaker. I'm super excited to have Melissa with me today. She started in single family, fix and flips. We're gonna go over all those details. She is a lender, and then she is also the host of Investor. For those who are in Seattle, you can join her events in person, but if not, you can connect with her. I'm super excited to have you. Welcome, Melissa.
Oh, I just couldn't get it off mute. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here too.
Awesome. Yeah, no, thank you for being here. So, tell us a little bit about your background. You have a very interesting background from
I
corporate America, getting your MBA, starting in fix and flip. So, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I do have it's actually I mean, I'm pretty proud of my story, but it's unique. So prior to COVID, I actually have a master's degree in kinesiology. So I played soccer in college, and then I went on and started being an athletic trainer and a strength coach. So my whole vision and plan was to retire as like one of the top women trainers in some pro sport. I worked for the Seattle Supersonics and the WNBA here locally in Seattle. And I loved my projection. I was excited. I worked hard for it. I have four sons. So, my career really came first because as a woman, I felt like, it was important. I have, my mom is full Mexican, my dad's Italian. So they really didn't have much goals for me other than to just be a stay-at-home mom and happily married. And I just had bigger than that. And no one gave me that chip. As a Latina woman, I just was like, I know I was made for bigger things. So that took precedent. And then during that journey, though, my husband, he is a laborer. So he was very handy. And it was like we moved out of we moved out of our home and didn't sell. So we just made it a rental. And then it was like, hey, this is easy. Rehabbed it, did some upgrades. And then we just decided to get into fix and flips. And it was something fun to do on the side. We both had W's, and it was just something for us. And we really liked it. Ended up compiling a few rental. I think we ended up with 5 before COVID hit, and then the world crashed and COVID, and that's really what changed everything for me.
Yeah, I always wanted to ask people just, like, okay, how COVID impacted you. You hear so many businesses that started on COVID, our whole lives switched for a lot. That's how you started in fix and flip. I know you grew it to 20 praise. So how did you start into lending? How decision?
Yeah, so that was like a free fall. So just to be on the real, because we're all women here, and I know we've all been in that space, and COVID did a lot to us. But during COVID, I felt very depressed. I had spent 20 years in a career like working my butt off to get to where I was, and I had a trajectory, and I was going to meet that. Then COVID hit, I became a stay-at-home mom for 4 kids, and it was the worst job I'd ever ever didn't sign up for. I always thought I would just work really hard and my kids would just flourish, like as a young mom, you just think like it's gonna happen. But then when I had to be stuck at home with them and realize that I don't love it, that was hard on me because I love my boys and I loved being a mom, but I did not love being home with them. And I had to give up my career. I was depressed. I was spiraling. I'm just gonna be honest, like everything was falling apart. Then the world seemed to just get worse and worse. Being in Seattle, we were everything was closed off. It was Texas, I think, was more open than we were up here in Seattle.
Oh
We were the
yeah.
first to shut down. We were the first to leave, to unshut down. I joked back then too that I was like, I'm gonna move to Texas. And then I started traveling to Texas a lot. And I was like, no, it's way too hot. I couldn't,
Oh
I
yeah.
couldn't do it. But so I'm on one of these Zooms, these wine and dine, Zoom things to try to like stay normal. And a girlfriend is telling me that she just did a flip in Texas. And I was like, oh my God, like because I only did real estate in Washington. And she's like, yeah, and I had cried with these women and, like definitely talked about our hard time. She was like, actually, they're hiring and my loan officer is amazing. Become a lender. You can work from home and you're smart, you know this stuff. And I was like, okay, sign me up. Who do I call? Like,
Where do I sign?
yeah, like I'm glad I got that prompt because if they were like, be a dog groomer or, go do I would have taken anything. I was so just like, what could I do to just get some adult back in my life? Literally the next day I called my boss now, her name is Brenda, and we talked and she had some concerns because I was super overqualified and I was like, just please let me do it. And I was becoming her loan assistant. And I just jumped in. I was 40 years old. I had no real background in lending. I mean, I knew how it worked because I used money, but I never like was on that side. So I had to learn everything. It was very humbling, but at the same time, the minute I got in a call with like coworkers, I was so excited and so happy to have that source. So it was like a free fall. I had no idea really what I got into, and I honestly told my husband, I was like, I'm just gonna do this for a while. I think it'll, like we'll just see, and then when COVID, is over and I can have my life back, I'll go back to it. I've been with Conventus for 3.5 years now, and I would never go back. If somebody said like snap of the fingers, we'll put you right back to where you were, I wouldn't take it. I am so free now. I have a great relationship with my boys. I work a lot, but I love what I do. It's just I'm in that stage of life where like I get to help people still, and I get to tell you all the secrets and the tips and tricks from the lender perspective because I was an investor. So I kind of like, okay, this is how this all together. So it was a rough, like I said, it was a free fall. I hit a lot of rocks on the way down, but I am very, very happy. I'm so glad it happened. And now I'm in a place where I get to just really help. And I have chose to help women's group because I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I can be powerful in and help empower people to really like dig in and find our space in this male dominated space, they say. But yeah, so it's just been great. I love what I do and I get to, connect with you guys. So yeah, that's how I got
Absolutely.
here.
No, it's definitely very interesting because so there's a lot of things, you said a lot of things, and I
I
have a
know.
lot of questions. So let me break it down before we get into all the lending and all the nerdy stuff that I love. But you talk about like how you build your career and when it was time, or I mean, you were a mom before, but like just to stay at home, like kind of feel like you lost your identity, like I don't really like being at home and all those. I talk with a lot of women that have the same, they go through the same path where you're very professional, pursuing either your corporate job, career, growing or just building your business. And when you face that part of kid, raising kids, well, very not how you would like to. Tell us more about how did you overcome that, whole experience on that part.
Yeah, so as I've always had a career, but I definitely felt like I was robbed of something. Like I had, it's not like I did something wrong and I lost my career. Like I had worked so hard and I was robbed of it. I was angry and I was mad. And I just didn't love staying home with my kid. I mean, it was like I am not meant math and I could care less. And the one day my kid was like he was doing high knees in the kitchen for class on a Zoom. He was like in 5th grade or 4th grade. I was like, I am done. I can't do this. Like, this is not what God intended me to do. And I really, the depression, I was angry. I got depressed. I really like, I had to like have somebody go just like snap to it. Like, I was at the point where I would just like want to drive because you couldn't go anywhere. So you could go in your car and drive places. But one of my friends was like, pull your pants up a little bit and snap to it. Like, we're all dealing with this. We've all got stuff stripped from us. And then I had to really like do some mind shift change and realize that my career I wasn't my identity, but I had spent 40 something as my identity. Like as a kid, I played sports and in college, I got a full ride. So like I played soccer, like Melissa played soccer. And then when that left, it was like, okay, now who am I? What am I? And it just, I always had something as an identity. And COVID was the first time I had to be like, who are you? And what is your identity as a person? And I'd never here dealt with the mentality side of life. And, we're all okay, right? Until you like talk about it and they're like, oh, you're not okay. And, but it was good because I started doing some mindset stuff and I really started just like forcing 15 minutes a day to myself to like read or vent or journal. And it's a journey. Like to this day, I still kind of
Absolutely,
get
like just
down.
discovering yourself, like who
Yeah.
is Melissa, right? Because I think that there is a really good quote on Instagram that I just shared a couple days ago that never put your identity in a job, in a career project, because it's just at one point you need to face yourself and who am I? What do I stand for? Like who is Melissa other than a business professional side, right? So that's so powerful.
And we all do it too. Even with my marriage, I was mad at him because he was an essential worker. So I was like, that's not fair. That's not fair. It was a lot. Like, we're still married. We always joke, like, we got through COVID. So there's not much like we can't get through. But yeah, so it's now though too, because I have gone through, like, reality is it was trauma. And I faced it and like didn't just brush it over and was like, no big deal. Like, I was like, this was hard and this kind of broke me. I mean, I was at my lowest low, but it's helped me kind of really relate to women that are in the real estate business now because of a trauma, of a drama, of similar stories. Like, what am I going to do now? I'm going to do this. And to be able to relate and just, and it's kind, and it's, I love people. So it's actually really nice to kind of have some empathy of what, it feels like to go through it because, in my 30s, I was unstoppable. I like the song, like there was nothing that could stop me until God said, how about COVID? And I was
Until
like,
COVID.
yeah. And I was like, not fair, but okay.
Yeah, no, and I love that part that you say, like, now looking back, you say, like, I love that that happened. At the moment, it was super hard, mental breakdowns, and you say lowest, but just like Steve Jobs says, like, we can never connect the dots look forward, but we can always connect the dots backwards, right? So now you say, oh, that's what all this happened. And now one of the ways that I say is like when I was in my dark days, nobody told me like it's like a bridge and the best version of you crossing that. When we're in that moment, we just don't see light and nobody tell us like the best version of you is crossing that. Stay strong, keep going. And now we look back and it's like I love that that happened if it was super hard.
No, I laugh because the best thing in my life was COVID because I wasn't a great mom. I did what I needed to do, but I wasn't there for them. My mom helped a lot. We had a house cleaner and a nanny. I missed out on a lot of things, and I would never like part of me has dealt with I regret it because I look back and regret what I've missed out on, but also like so grateful that I got an opportunity to not miss out on any more. So it's kind of like I'm so happy because I'm so at peace now. And my kids are hard. Like I have a 21-year-old, twin 19-year-olds, all boys, and a 12-year-old. And COVID, they were in high school and elementary school. Like it was not easy, but I look back and I'm so glad that I got to go through it with them because not everyone is as fortunate, but I didn't value it at the time. So I've had to have a coming to Jesus and forgive myself for some things and really like I still work through them. But prior to that, like I never even touched on it. My career was more important and everyone, we just all adapted. And I couldn't imagine not like having the relationship I have with my kids now, but I didn't have it prior to COVID. I didn't. I just worked, took care of the family, and did what I was. And it's unfortunate, but I'm really grateful to where I'm at now. So it's been really good.
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate that you are so open and you say real way because that's what it is. So I appreciate that for that. So now let's get into your favorite topic about lending.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love lending.
So, tell us about your favorite type of lending, how it works, and things that.
Yeah. So on a personal note, like I spent most of my career doing fix and flips. I love them. You get to create stuff and then you get to say goodbye. You're not you're not stuck with it. We had 5 rentals. We have 3 now. And mainly because once they became a headache, we're like, let's just sell it and get rid of it. And that's what you really have to love to be a landlord if you want to, do that kind of investing. And you don't know if you don't love it till you try it, really. So
Yeah.
I think, you love it when everything's good, right? And it's, but the minute things went bad, I'm like fair weather. I'm like, sell it. We don't need it no more. I'm like, we're done. But I'm really loving the ground up construction though. And it's completely it's completely like the more advanced version of investing is to do ground up build. But like it's so creative. You don't deal with what's there. You don't have to worry about, will I find something in the walls? Is the plumbing really good? Like, are they telling me the truth? Like, you get to kind of start with a clean. And on the lending side, it's easier to diligence. Like, we just basically look at the land and like the costing into the build. So on our end, it's a lot just cleaner that way. But yeah, ground up construction is one of my favorite. But I would say like as far as lending, we probably do 80% of our deals are all fixed off. So that's still kind of the priority of what most investors are doing.
Awesome. And do you, I guess you work.
We do. So I live in Seattle and then we're based in San Francisco, but then we lend in 48 states. And so there's a bunch of us. I would say there's like probably like 30 sales reps throughout the country. That just kind of we're supposed to be in our regions, but like Texas is a huge market for me. I do a ton in Florida and Georgia. My assistant lives in Houston. So we kind of just go where the need is. I get a lot of referrals and it's all over. So it's kind of fun. Every property I look at is new town, new area. So
And one of the things that I love about you and that I personally relate is that you are an first and then you're a lender. So been there, done that. I've been drinking the Kool-Aid myself, and now I'm offering you this. So tell us a little bit more about things that borrower about lend. They are looking for a lender for
yeah.
their project.
So I've kind of evolved. So I started teaching this because I got tired of borrowers calling me and they're like, I have no idea what to do. I found a property and I have money and like, what should I do? And then it was kind of fun to like teach them. And it's just like, okay, you're going to go this route, this route, this works. So I developed this, I do a monthly webinar and I just started this year doing it every month, the first Wednesday of every month. And it's really just a free place to come and like ask questions. People come and they don't want to, they're real shy about asking questions. So I still just have a presentation. But what I've focused it on is the things that you don't know that I just feel like as a borrower, understanding where we're coming from as a lender makes you more diligent and more responsible when you're vetting us and when you're looking for a lender. I have like 50 million things that would be good. I have a whole hour. But if we're going to talk about the top 5, I was going to do 5. So one of them is to know what kind of working with. Is it a direct lender? Are you with a broker? Is it a third party? Is it a private lender? Because all of it, it's so direct lenders are straight the fund, the money. It's the no middleman. It's that person. And they have the lowest fees. PMLs are more creative and they can do things that hard money lenders can't. They have higher brokers really help you shop and like give you more resources, but they're going to tack on fees. So understanding who you're working with is really valuable. And then understanding who's not a good person to work with. Like when you're in those Facebook groups and you see somebody says, I fund 100% financing. I just need 1,500 to Zelle me and, we'll be closed in 3 days. I'm shocked at how many people fall for that. And it's unfortunate because they're out there just trying to, fraud you and lie. And so being really diligent about who you work with and what kind of lender you're working with really helps you save money. Because in reality, the one thing people miss when they do their numbers on spreads and like profit is the holding cost, the cost of the loan, how much it's going to hold for how many months you need it for. All of that stuff. I see it a lot where it's like everything looks really good and it's tight, but then it's like it doesn't work anymore because you actually have to pay that fee and all the points and all the stuff that come with it. So I would say that's a big one.
And
Another
there's always surprise, sorry, but when
no.
you're doing a fix and flip and you estimate, I don't know, and
Mhm.
it turns to a year and a half, that was not included on the budget. So that's really good point. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, please interject. One thing I always tell people is when I say, well, how long is your rehab going to take? And they'll say 6 months. And I'm like, okay, so 9 months, like I'm always like, add 3 months at least. And, when you're done with your flip really has an idea of when, like, if you're done at December, are you really going to sell that property in December? Like you might have to hold it till spring to really get the good market. So, yeah, like really understanding your timelines and your holding costs is super valuable. Another thing I get is like in the lending industry, FICO is your current. As much as, people say, well, it's my LLC or, it's not my personal. Most of us lenders are looking for a warm body to back the loan. So at some point, you're going to get your FICO pulled. And if you've not taken care of it, if you've not monitored it, it can affect you. I mean, I have a great borrower and they have high rates because their FICO is six, and it's because of usage. It's because they had a late, it's because you just weren't monitoring or taking care of it. So I would say like really, really protect that. Do one of those free services. Credit Karma is great because it notifies you of things going on, but it's not so accurate. But it's usually good with ranges, but at least it's, pinging you if like, hey, payments coming up. Hey, your credit score increase because your usage is so high. Like it helps you keep it healthy. I think people don't realize how important the FICO is in the lending world because again, a lot of the borrowers don't have W-2. So really all we have on you is like, do you pay your bill? And do you have money in the bank? And most of the time we're investing it. So not everyone has money in the bank. So it's really important to have that good FICO. But you don't need people to pull it to give you a quote. Don't ever lock it up, put freezes on all your all three of the credit score people. I said that funny. All the three credit agencies put freezes on, and then don't let anybody pull that. That will affect in the long run. Only let them pull when you go into business with them. And usually, like for us, we pull it once and we don't have to pull it again for another 12 months. So if you keep doing deals, we won't need it. So you want to find out like, do you pull it every deal? Do you do a hard pull, a soft pull? Like those things help when you're vetting a lender. And it's really, really important. If a lender tells you they have to pull it to no, find a new lender because I can quote you just based on what you tell me. If you don't tell me the right FICO, I'm not going to tell you the right price. So it has to be, like we have to be good ballparkers, but we don't need to pull FICO. So you can get quotes all day. Don't let anybody pull. The other thing I would say is understand that we are salespeople. So a loan officer, a lending shop, we're in sales. And all of us that are out here saying, hey, I can help, I'm a lender, we're salespeople. So our job is to get more business. Now, there are great lenders out there. I compete with a lot of good lenders that I don't mind losing. I mean, I don't like, but I'd rather lose to one of the direct, good lenders that I know are going to do a good job for you. But that it keeps us competitive. I love it when one of my borrowers says like, hey, I checked over at this other company and this is what they're offering me. And it's like, okay, I got you. And like, I can beat that. Like, ask us to compete and earn your business. Once you find a couple good lenders, it's important to kind of stick with them because one, if you bounce around, you're going to get that FICO pulled more, but you also can build a good relationship with them. And eventually you get better pricing. You get those repeat business discounts. You can close quicker because we've underwrote. But don't limit it just to one. Like I'm a great hard money lender. You'll love me. You'll shop around and come back to me, but there'll be times I can't do a deal or it doesn't fit our box or it doesn't fit your timeline and you want to have a backup. So as much as like you'll fall in love with your lender, you'll have a good relationship, this is a business and respectfully, I want the best for you. So I want you to shop and I want to keep proving to you we are a good option. And any lender out there should be doing the same thing. So make us be competitive. We're salespeople. We make money. We're all going to make money at the end of it. But it's okay to keep us on our toes and make sure that we're all offering a good product. It keeps
I
your
love that statement because, yeah, at the end of the day, yes, we are salespeople. We want your business, but at the same, like, same thing for us. Like I offer investment opportunities, but at the same time, like I want my investors to go and I tell them go and connect with all the sponsors, attend their events, get to know them, get to know the team, date before you get married, right? And then like they come back because after they see like you're investing with you're gonna doing a lot of deals with the same, so that's a really good point.
thing. And the other thing on that too, just because like this is super relationship based, of course I want all the the business. I'm in sales. That's quotas are a big thing. But it's never fun doing a deal or having a relationship with a borrower that you just don't mesh with. You don't speak the same language. It's frustrating. It's just it's not for, you're not meant for everyone. Like I can't, I mean, as much as like I want all the business, I have learned that I attract who I'm going to work best with. And I have learned to let go of things because like I think it's the better fit of, I've passed things on to other people at my company, or I've definitely like pushed somebody to say like, hey, you should go with that shop. They would be a better fit. And I mean, that's the thing is like, you might love three lenders, but you might really work well with one. They understand how you communicate. They know what you're talking about. Like over time, they can finish your sentences. Like that's really valuable because you don't want the process to be frustrating. And there are times that different personalities can make things frustrating. So like I said, vet them, find a few good ones, and then you'll start to navigate to the ones that you really enjoy working with and do a good job. And we should enjoy what we're doing, right?
Absolutely. I love that because for us it's the same thing. Like I get investors all the time. I speak with them. And just because we offer certain investment opportunities, that doesn't it's not the right fit for everybody, you know? And of course I want to get to know them, and sometimes they tell me these are my investment goals, what I need, and I'm like, probably not the right fit for you, right? And it's totally okay. I think they really appreciate that, instead of I'm just gonna close you because I'm on sales and because I want to make money out of this sale. Like it's not like that. I know projects that for us people savings retirement accounts for use projects, and if this is not the best deal for you, I'll be honest, and I love that part about you as well.
But I would say the last one is that I encourage people to do is have exit plans. Don't get so stuck on the one because you might have found the perfect property for a great flip and a great spread, and you can't fit a square into a circle hole. So if it's not the right fit for the exit, or you have an opportunity, maybe it's a better fit to hold it, and you're like, well, I plan on that. Like, do I want look at all the opportunities because at the time it might feel right and it might be right, but there could be a better one that comes up like as you get close to finishing a project or ready to exit. And it's like, should we hold this? So maybe not. Maybe the market shifted and we actually sell this. I find sometimes when people find a property, it's a great price. And then I'm like, okay, what's the holding cost? What's your exit plan? And they realize the only plan that works is if they sell. And what if they can't sell? Like there's always time the market's slow and you can't sell. Then what? Then it's like, ooh, I start losing money within 1 month. Well, that doesn't sound like a good exit. And there's times where if you look at different routes a property could go, it doesn't become a good plan anymore. And then it's kind of like, should I do this deal? And it becomes risk. And there's times where you take those risks and there's times that you don't. But I always encourage people, especially new borrowers or new investors, is to look at all the different ways this could exit for you. And do you have more than one route out? Because generally it's not always the one we want or the first one we think of.
Absolutely. I think, for every real estate asset or multifamily, you always, especially in today's market that, couple months and the whole market shifts, it's super important to have a different exit strategy because in today's market, not just with one exit, you're gonna get awesome, awesome. So, whoa, we're gonna switch gears a little bit, but also for the people listening, if you guys have any questions, feel free to raise your hand or put them on the chat, whatever's for you. Melissa, we also share this passion for helping women control their finance. You are the host of Investor in Seattle chapter, so tell us what has been the most powerful part about building a local community.
So first, I want to just caveat that. So if anybody that's familiar with Invest Her, it's one of my favorite groups. I'm actually at their conference soon, but they're changing their meetups now. So I think they're kind of taking a pause and regrouping and like rebranding. But so a lot of us are kind of starting our own. So I can't say I'm the Invest Her. I got to change that. We're not the host of Invest Her Seattle. We're the host of She Invests Seattle. And so we kind of had to change that, but it's the same pretense. And one of the reasons why I aligned with them is because when I got into this world, now I had already, attended some meetings as an investor, but I was just too busy, but I definitely like, I was like, this would be cool if I had time for this. But when I became a lender, I was getting a lot of, men really knew like this is what I'm doing. They really had just kind of like bump it up and up. Different, different communication styles, and it's great. But women really would call and ask, this is a dumb question. I don't know, like, could you explain this to me? I didn't want to ask at the meeting I was at yesterday. And I kind of just felt like this is crazy because I never realized that, I had worked in the NBA, and there's not a big space for women in that organization. I mean, there is, but at the same time, you definitely have to find your fit, and you definitely have to like adapt to what's around you if you want to be in that space. The reality of that sport and the industry I was in. And what was cool is when I went to the WNBA, it was the same, but it was women's basketball. So it was kind of funny because it still was very male dominated as far as like staff and kind of but going forward, I just was like, this is shocking that this industry also is the same thing, is where women almost like just stepped back in a way. And I was kind of like, whoa, like I get it. Like now I get why invest so unpopular and why, everyone is loving these groups. And so I went to these meetups, and all the women were very quiet. They would kind of pillared throughout the room, tons of men. And the men were very dominating in the room. And I mean, and I, love it because being boisterous and speaking out, like it definitely, like I want to hear, like I loved that. But it didn't, the average woman is not going to just stand up and speak out in that space. So, and
Yeah.
that's, it's weird saying that, but that's just the reality of it. That's the difference with men and women in most cases. So when I would go to the women's groups, it was like everyone just like it's almost like we took our shoes off and like exhaled, and we could talk about anything and, just ask questions and be like, what did I do wrong here? And there was such a approach of humility and love and kindness and uplift. And I was like, for sure love this space better. Now I do lots of events. I mean, I do bigger pockets, like tons of men, women events, and we love them all the same, but I definitely feel very pulled towards women's groups just because like, and in reality, they're like an underserved population real estate world. And I feel like we should just have more space to be able to go somewhere, get that information, get all that, and then come back and go, okay, now how am I processing this? How does a woman think about this? How do we balance it all? Men don't have the same worries and the same things going on with my husband will be like, you worry too much. And I'm like, you worry too less. I'm like, I have to because you don't worry enough. And he's like, well, I don't have to worry at all because you worry enough for everyone. But it's just, we know how we think about things and our priority lists, they're just different. And I have loved it. Like I couldn't love a space better than women investors because I find out that like we're all actually some bad A's out there, but we don't need to publish that, like be public about that. We don't need to put that on a shirt. We don't need to like be like, I'm the best in the room. But I guarantee if we were all wearing like a stat sheet, like there's some killer women in most of these groups that are like dominate. And I love that about us is like, we're just doing our thing. And these groups are so uplifting as women. I love the fact that, in high school, any girl event, I was like, oh, I don't think I want to go. It was not my thing. I didn't like how girls were catty. And so as an adult,
Same.
it's weird. Yeah, it's so weird because I'm like, I love women's groups when I mean, I love, and we're just different. Our mindsets are different. We're all grown up and older. And yeah, so I like, my heart is so with empowering women and just helping them realize that like, you don't have to ask the dumb question, but this is how you get this. Like, you don't have to put yourself out there in that group and be uncomfortable, but this is your community where you can, and you can find, so it's not a roadblock. You just have to go a different route and be okay with that. Like, we don't have to, I am woman, hear me roar, but we're roaring a little bit different.
Absolutely, I love that. We're here to just help inspire it. So I absolutely love that, and that's why I started She Builds Owns Invest because I feel like there's a lot of need, especially transaction levels. Just like you said, we get intimidated not just by men, but everybody out there is like, oh yeah, I have this $1 billion portfolio fund, and it's like, oh my gosh, how do I get there, right? But just putting ourselves out there with the right people, connecting with the right parts, help us grow. Okay, well, I see that John has a question, so let's go get his question.
Oh
And
no, John, you're not a woman. What are you doing in here?
I know, right?
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Hi, everybody. I am not a woman. I am a man. So
That's the
Melissa,
thing about women is we're loving and kind, and we still will welcome you, even though. No,
Oh
I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
we love
But
it.
you guys
I
have
know.
been super, super awesome in letting me join these. But Melissa, I have a question for you on the lending space. So you mentioned earlier, like kind of pitting, not necessarily pitting other people against each other, but like how would you recommend going about the most ethical way to have lenders come for your business in the for like bridge loans, for example? Because I do a lot of bridge loans, so that's why. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not, don't feel like you're hurting feelings, but be upfront about it. Because the hardest thing is like if you work on a loan and you're like, yeah, here's the pricing, you're like, great, thank you very much. And then you don't call someone back and you're just like, did I win? Like, what are we doing? Like, are we going live? I know you have to close. And then you go, oh, I closed with somebody. I'm already closed with somebody, or I'm already, like that hurts. You're like, man, I didn't even get it to like compete. So when somebody says, here's the deal I have, and I'm shopping it, what's the best you can give me? And then I will do, I'll give the best I can. And I always say, whatever you get, if you can bring me back your LOIs, I'd love to review them. And one, because I also try to help and make sure it's apples to apples. But also I kind of want to see like what's out there. But then I go back to like my team and go, look what they're doing. Like they're going to beat us, a great borrower business. And I see if I can get some wiggle room. But just being upfront, like I get a lot of times where people are like, I got this LOI from another company. They're at 10 and a half and one, beat it. And that is just upfront negotiation. So it's not pitting us against each other. It's helping us be competitive. And so that's, if you think of it as a positive and you're just upfront, like us lenders are eat that up because we're all competitive. So we're like, okay, let's see what we can do. Like I want to,
Awesome. I have a follow-up question if that's all right as well. Okay, so how do
but
you
I'm gonna
know?
need you to send me your LOI on your next deal so we can talk about that.
Hey, absolutely. I've already got your contact information saved, so I was like, okay.
Okay.
So then how would somebody find out if they're getting the best rates from a lender? Because let's say they don't shop around. Is there like a national website that we can go to kind of see what the comparative rates are, or is it just you have to shop around?
You have to shop, I would say, because in hard money, with the change of how the market, it affects us, it really just depends on how low it goes, and how much they're gonna make off, right? Because the lower they go, the less they're getting in every month on the interest rate. So you definitely want to shop. And like I would say my business, they all shop. Every 3 months they might, they get an ad about something, and they bring it to me. They're like, hey, this new lending company opened up and look what they did. And it's nice because like it keeps us competitive because now we're like, oh, there's this new company and they're offering stuff. But then, usually we see something like it's capped at something, or, where it's like, okay, that's not going to ever win, but they're advertising, right? And that's why I like to also, because when I get the LOIs from other companies, I can help my borrowers also understand. And like I'm a straight shooter. I'll be like, this is a really good LOI. Let me see what I can do. Or I'm like, hey, like they're charging you interest on the undrawn. It's completely opposite of what we do, and kind of flag some stuff. So I say you always want to shop. Even when you love your lender, or you love a couple, those rates change and we all get comfortable. Like I always do like, oh, last loan we did was 10% the price. And it's like, well, wait, like at what point do I get some bet, like we have to stay on our toes. So I would say for sure, always periodically, like every 3 months, like figure out what's out there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great question. Thank you. Any other questions? I know they were asking, Karima was asked for the information for your webinar. So I have your Instagram on the chat and then on your link tree. That's the best find.
Yeah,
And I
actually,
also put your website. Sorry.
oh no, that's okay. That's actually the company Instagram. But if you put my Instagram, it's like it's melissacorda.lender.art. That link, that goes to my link tree, and then it has my next webinar date. And I sometimes I'll, if I can keep up with it, I'll post where I'm speaking at next. And then it has some resources on there too, just like our lending map and some other stuff.
Oh,
Did you
let
find
me,
it?
yes, put it on the chat now, and we will make sure to include it on the recording, the replay, because so many people watch the replay as well. Not everybody
Okay.
can join at this time. Okay, any other questions? And let me ask, who is here for the first time? Do you have any new members first time? Stay connected with us. We are on Facebook. We have our Facebook group, Instagram, LinkedIn, WhatsApp group. Stay connected with us. Love hear what you're doing, how we can help. Just like Melissa, We have a room full of powerful people. Whatever you need, I have a friend reach out to me. It's like, my insurance went double on my house. Do you have anybody? So I reach out to all my chill ladies, and she found somebody to help her. So just to stay connected is a great community. On May 3rd, we have an event, Houston and Austin, celebrating mompreneurs and every woman building a legacy. So if you are in Houston or Austin, feel join us. We will love to have you. I'll put the link on the chat. For those in Houston, remember we have the groundbreaking ceremony tomorrow, and always our swag is available to shop. So any other questions, guys? Let me see the comments. Savine is new here, so welcome. Karima, welcome. If you guys have you want to mute yourself real quick, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do? What brought you here? We would love to hear that. And I'll pull up Kanam, Savine and Kanam. If you guys can unmute, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Konami. I guess this is my first time here. I've been a big dog. I'm not sure if this is associated with only big dogs, but I've been a big dog for a little bit over a year now, and I'm currently in the process of transitioning it to another job. So I'm pretty free in what I can do with my time and my energy, and I really want to invest in a team that just with like-minded. So I'm really happy to be able to finally go into one of your meetings, because I've heard about you, this women's group, for quite a while. So yeah, I'm just excited to be here. I was a little bit late, so I missed like the first 30 minutes of your meeting. Well, I was a lot late, so I missed the first 30 minutes of the meeting. So yeah, is there like a Facebook group or a WhatsApp? I saw a comment earlier.
Yeah, I put the WhatsApp Facebook group as well. So welcome. Yeah, we're very connected with big dogs. Probably Trevor told you about this group. We say he's the
Yeah.
president of She because he supports us a lot. So he
Yes.
came to one of our events wearing a wig because
No, he literally,
Yes,
I saw
yeah.
him stay and in another big dog conference, and he was the one who invited me to y'all's meeting tonight. And there were two meetings, and he was like, "Yeah, go to the women's one." He himself called himself y'all's number one fan, or your biggest fan. And he has I did see the picture with his wig. I think he looks very beautiful with that luscious hair.
Yeah, so fun. Okay, well, welcome. Hope you get value. Feel free to connect with
Thank you.
Melissa, reach out to her. I put her links on the chat. And we also have Savine, right? For the first time. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm also a big dog, way fresher, only January, and I actually got contacts through Trevor and Sanjay. I just met Sanjay yesterday in one of the Big Dog Connect for the first time. So I guess it's a little world at the end. But yeah, so quite new. I still have my normal W2 job for now. That's still taking me a lot of time. But yeah, let's see how I can grow in that world now. Yes.
Absolutely. And you hear a lot of Warren Buffett, they retire from their W2 job. But one of the things that I tell people is like, never underestimate your job and having cash flow coming in, secure cash flow, right? Because our investments is like we have a big check, and then the next month is right. So never underestimate that, and don't run. It's a path, and we gotta take one step forward every day to build or to retire from our job. Welcome. So super excited to have you guys. Put your own links if you are on Facebook, Instagram, your preferred social media, so everybody can connect with you. Melissa can connect with you. Everybody. So put your links on the chat. If you have any other questions for us, let us know. But I think we're good. Melissa, any last words of advice?
No, thanks for having me. And I'd love to, I just joined the WhatsApp, and I think I was in the Facebook group, but I hope to stay connected, and just would love to be, I'd love to be your lender someday, but I'd more love to just be a resource for you. And yeah, just help everybody on the journey. So thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time. I had a blast. I learned a lot from you and a lot of good reminders. So thank you so much for joining us. Let's stay connected. And thank you everybody for joining. Have a great night. Thank you so much. For those in Houston, we will see you tomorrow on our ceremony tomorrow.
Thank you. Have a good
Bye-bye. Thank you.